All right. So
yeah,
there's been some more shaking up in the streaming world.
Yeah, a whole lot of shaking going on, you could say.
So I think it was, I don't remember if it was over the weekend or if it was Monday or something like that, but we get word that Dr. Lupo, which is a big name on Twitch, his contract with Twitch, because he did have at one point an exclusivity deal with Twitch, came up. And he made an announcement, hey, guys, I'm moving over to stream exclusively on YouTube Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think his first stream on YouTube was on Tuesday. And then he streamed over there. And then he kind of, a lot of those first FPS streamers kind of all run the same crowd. A lot of times they'll play with each other and mix and mingle and kind of stuff like that. So one of the people that Lupo would play with occasionally would be TimTheTatman. So apparently, like, they're good buddies, and he said something like, "Look, Lupo's, it's his first day, his big day over on Twitch or on YouTube. He asked me, he reached out, said, would I play with him? So I told him, yeah, sure, I'd play with him. So I'm going to play with him or something like that. So they played and everything, and then Tim says, he comes to the end of his stream and he says, hey guys, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow, but there's going to be like an announcement. At first, when he said I'm not streaming tomorrow, I thought it was tied into the whole, because it was Wednesday the 1st, it was tied into the whole a day off Twitch thing. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't follow a lot of big Twitch people, and I don't actually get to watch Twitch a ton, but I hadn't heard of any like super big names like really promoting it. I was like, oh, this is a big name. Then but he never said that. But I was like, oh, but he's taking it off on day off Twitch day. It's got to be. And then he says, oh, but stay tuned to my socials. There's going to be like an announcement. I'm like, what does that mean? And then he puts up this tweet of this picture of these two doors. And I'm like, oh crap, is Tim about to follow suit and do the same thing? Today comes and he does. He's leaving to go to YouTube Gaming exclusively.
That's insane.
So both of these guys had huge following. I think on Twitch, Dr. Lupo had something like 4.5 or 5 million followers. TimTheTatman has 7 million. And both of them have thriving YouTube channels as well, but they're not, even those YouTube channels that were doing great are not as big as what their Twitch channels were. And look, they're signed a deal, so I'm sure they're getting well taken care of. One thing that I did think was super interesting was that both of them, because there were news articles written and interviews with each of them when they made their announcement, and both of them kind of alluded to the fact they're like, hey, YouTube basically made us this deal, and what I'm going to kind of get from this is that I'm going to be able to have a little bit more of a relaxed schedule. I'm not going to have to stream so much, and I'm going to get to spend more time with my family. They both have kids and both have, families that are kind of up and coming, and they're like, I've put in all this time over the X amount of years that I've been doing and everything like that. I'm ready to like step back a little bit and kind of relax a little bit and not have to have such a crazy stream schedule. So I don't know. That seems to imply to me that when you're big time over on Twitch and get exclusivity deal, they expect you to stream a lot. Maybe, I don't know that that's the case, but the fact that they both pointed to this being one of the reasons that for the decision, because leaving millions of followers on one platform, as we've seen when Ninja did it to Mixer and when Shroud did it to Mixer, it's not just a given. People are going to follow you over there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, sure, the diehards and everything will, but it's like, so they're not going to just, it's not just a lateral move.
That was also a different jump. You know what I'm saying? To go to something that really nobody really knew, to jump to YouTube as the second highest search engine on the planet is a little different than jumping to Mixer.
But I feel like even in the last, like, I don't remember, I want to say it was in April or May or somewhere out there, there was some analytics stuff that came down that looks at all the streaming platforms and everything. And obviously Twitch was still the top dog.
Of course.
And that even YouTube had gone down a little bit and Facebook gaming had like kind of surpassed it in some realm. Like not completely, but a little bit. Mm-hmm. I feel like there was even YouTube, like, I just wouldn't say this is a no-brainer choice outside of the money involved. It's just still one of those things where it's like, man, they've got to really be making it worth their while because they're leaving a really good situation that they have over there. And I don't really have like a dog in the fight. It doesn't matter to me where they go and what they do. And like I said, I don't get to watch them hardly ever anyways. But it's still super interesting to me, the chess moves and everything. And again, to your point, Mixer was like a brand new thing essentially. But it makes me wonder, like, is this going to be a rinse and repeat? Or are they all just going to end up right back at Twitch again? Mm-hmm. Or is this going to work out great and it's going to really shake things up? And like, because I think there's things that YouTube's missing on the streaming side. But like, what if they start really upping their game there? is that going to not force, but like kind of like get Twitch to be like, oh, okay, so like maybe then they won't have to have people taking a day off Twitch. They'll just fix these issues as they arise. You know, I would like to see it pushing each other to being better and better and better so that we all win.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's going to have a little bit of effect. Like Ed said, like, I think on YouTube, I would imagine the bot thing's got to be way harder over there because of how you have to sign into YouTube to chat and things like that. Probably. I can't have 85 different names under my one email.
Right.
You know, it's more one-to-one, like Ed was saying, needed to be on Twitch. Man, what was the most interesting thing to me about this? Because, yes, there's the big jump. Yes, it's a little bit of a leap of faith. I think that Tim, man, I mean, I feel like anytime I see Tim streaming, I look over and it's 30,000 people, right? Mm-hmm. I look over most of the times at Lupo and it's around like 7,000 to 8,000 people. And he's always playing Turkov and killing it over there. And, you know, he's always talked about the leap of faith from going from a good paying job to Twitch. And then this kind of being another leap of faith from Twitch to YouTube. And I know it stands to reason that it's a little bit of a leap of faith. I still think like everybody does YouTube. And so it's not as big as going to Mixer and asking somebody to go integrate something brand new and go sign up for something brand new. What was most interesting? Yeah, what was most interesting to me though was that it happened during this a day off Twitch time.
Yeah.
Where like everybody was like, I'm taking a day off Twitch. And obviously this TimTheTatman thing and the Dr. Lupo thing, these things have been in the works for months.
Right.
It just happened to fall this week.
Yeah.
And it made it so much more resounding, like, yo, these jokers, you know, if you just look at it at face value, like, these jokers left over Twitch not changing their ways.
Right.
Which they didn't say that.
Exactly.
But that's what it looks like. I was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you just glance at it. That was really interesting to me that the timing would fall this week. And you got to imagine that Twitch is like, oh, why this week of any other week?
Right.
But Chris sent me a tweet earlier today that made me really happy because for me, watching Tim and Doc play back in the day on Twitch was always really funny to me. And ever since Doc got kicked off Twitch, nobody who played on Twitch was allowed to play with Doc. And so now Doc will be Tim and Lupo will be able to get back in there with Doc, Dr. Disrespect and play again. So that's kind of like a fun aside that those guys will be back together. And so you have to wonder too, since Tim and Lupo weren't kicked off, can they still play with Mercs? And I don't know if Courage made the jump over to YouTube.
I saw, well, number one, the fact that Tim, when he was still on Twitch, was playing with Lupo on, he had started his exclusivity over there, makes me think that's fine. And then I feel like I saw something on Twitter where they're like, yeah, because it wasn't like a disciplinary thing.
Yeah.
They can do what they want. They can stream with whoever they want. So I don't think there's going to be anything unless YouTube has something. But again, I don't think Lupo, maybe because YouTube knew that Tim was about to come on over, maybe they wouldn't make us think about it. But I would be willing to bet that they're not going to have any issues with it.
And then another turn of events is I feel like in the last couple of weeks is when Doc came out and said, we found out why Twitch banned us.
Jeez, that guy.
We've known for months and we are going to sue the pants off Twitch. And you're like,
we'll see. We'll see.
Right. And I don't know if it's just
talking,
but I just like that he said he knows. You know what I'm saying? He never addressed it again. It felt like, you know, I mean, yes, he's talked about it a couple times on his streams, but it didn't seem to be that big, like, oh, why is Doc off Twitch? So the fact that he said he's known now for a while and that they're putting together a legal team to sue is really interesting as well. We'll see. And I'm with Chris, like, maybe, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But I'd love to see him do it just because I want to see everything come out and see why he's kicked off in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.